Hi, I'm David Penn, research analyst with Finovate. Thank you for joining us for our 25 and 5 Q&A rapid fire interview series here at FinovateSpring. Joining us today is Jake Canan of Quantum Metrics. Jake, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, David. Happy to be here.
Great. Now, before we get started in our 25 and 5 rapid fire Q&A, maybe you could tell us just briefly, just a little bit about yourself and Quantum Metric.
Yeah, so Jake Canan, I'm solution engineering leader for Quantum Metric. Basically makes me, in theory, an expert on the product and our technology and what we do. Quantum Metric is a company that helps companies basically prioritize and identify opportunities to improve the digital experience of their digital applications around the perspective of the customer with a methodology we call continuous product design.
Fantastic. And folks are going to get the opportunity to learn a lot more about you and Quantum Metric here at FinovateSpring. And they're going to get to hear a lot more about you from our 25 and 5 Q&A coming up. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready. Fire away.
All right. All right, here we go. Starting at the top. Your favorite meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
I intermittent fast usually, so breakfast is out. I think lunch is usually just whatever fits in the calendar. So dinner is about the only intentional meal of the day, so we'll go with dinner.
Save the big show for last.
Yeah.
Your favorite season of the year?
Springish, absolutely spring. Yeah, it feels like a fresh start for everything, right?
Excellent, excellent. Your favorite sport or recreational activity, either watching or playing?
Anybody who knows me knows I'm not that big on sports, but recreational activities, I've recently got into kind of long hiking / backpacking. So that I find very fun.
Very, very interesting. What's your favorite vacation spot or getaway?
I love everywhere that's basically new. So I like to travel and like to go to different places. It'd be hard for me to visit the same place twice. But in the spirit of the last question, my wife and I just spent a week in the Grand Teton National Park and the mountains and the canyons out there. And it was like absolutely breathtaking. It's gorgeous out there.
Wow, that does sound fascinating. It's time to relax. Are you more likely to read a book or listen to music?
I actually feel like I have to concentrate very hard to absorb a book, so I don't find it very relaxing, although enjoyable. So I probably would find myself in a YouTube endless loop watching NPR Tiny Desk concerts. If you haven't seen them, check them out. They're amazing. Yeah.
That sounds good. Thanks for the recommendation. Let's talk about technology. Do you own a smartwatch?
I was gifted one of these Garmin watches, which tells me how far I hike and my heart rate and that type of thing, but otherwise nothing else. I like to keep technology off my body if I can.
Yeah. All righty. How about in your portfolio? Do you own a robo-advisor? Do you use one for your investments?
No, I don't do a robo-advisor. I'm probably undereducated in this field. I stick with the mutual funds because Warren Buffett seems to like them and he's done okay. And generally speaking, I'm usually skeptical of things that start with robo. So yeah, I'll stick with the mutual funds for now.
Excellent. What's your favorite mode of public transportation?
Ride shares. So absolutely disruptive technology that I think has created more value than it's taken away. So yeah, ride shares.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. Do you own more in digital assets like Bitcoin or more in physical assets like gold and silver?
As of this morning, I own $5.76 in Bitcoin because Coinbase gave me $5 a couple of months ago. And that's about $5.76 more in cryptocurrency than I have in gold. And this might be gold, but I can't quite remember. I'm not sure.
So neck and neck. Let's see. Without naming names, what does your current bank do right?
The current bank I have, I switched to years ago when I moved, and they were, I think, one of the first to have like a true digital only presence in terms of banking. And I made that switch many years ago and have had no reason to switch. And so what they do well, I think, is I'm glad that they were at the forefront of that. And they just make it, just generally speaking, very easy to bank. I miss putting the check in the canister and setting it up the vacuum tube. But other than that, they make it really easy for me to transfer money and save. So.
Okay. Well,
and they recently added Face ID for the Google Pixel 4, which was a very much welcome feature. So thank you.
Excellent. Doing a bunch of good things. Well, on the same tip, though, without naming names, what does your current bank need to do better?
It may be that I just don't know that these features exist, but I would be very interested in a bank that takes additional steps and just added value features to help me have a better understanding of my financial position, even if they're assets outside of their control. And so
Mm-hmm.
features, I think, that would kind of be somewhat of like a mint.com, to kind of bring almost become my, my robo financial advisor in one place. And I think that they would find that I would probably do a lot more business with them, if that was the case as well. So, yeah.
Very, very interesting. Who would you say is the most inspirational person to you in technology right now?
Probably a somewhat divisive figure, maybe. I don't know him personally, but I am very fond of Elon Musk. So I think I'm very, very big fan of Elon Musk, just in terms of he's very good at setting very high goals. And even if he misses those goals, he ends up doing some pretty amazing things. So,
Yeah, definitely some incredible things from him. What would you say is the best city for technology startups that nobody knows about?
um, I'm sure there are people that have probably a lot of opinions as it relates to like tax law and that type of thing, which I'm underqualified to talk about. But I think the best place for a startup is anywhere with an internet connection. And I think 2020 has probably proven that. Why would you limit yourself to a talent pool in such an artificial geographic location when you can have access to anybody with an internet connection? So.
Excellent point. Excellent point. What is your most unpopular or controversial technology opinion?
I think this is becoming more popular, but I will take credit that about 8 to 10 years ago, it was very clear to me that social media was going to be a bit of a dumpster fire, and I deleted my accounts back then. So I still have my LinkedIn, and I do think that provides a lot of great professional value, but I'm not a big fan of social media.
I hear you. What would you be doing for a living if you weren't involved in your current field?
Hard to say. Maybe a struggling small business owner, because that's kind of where I got my start. I started helping manage and operate a small business in the energy industry, and things got a little funny in 2013, which made a career change for me. But probably would still be trying to do something myself, and which is fine, and I like to do that. But I've just had such a great opportunity now, being surrounded by so many like brilliant people, that I've learned a lot of things that I wouldn't have otherwise learned. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's take a look at Quantometric. What problem does your company solve, and who does it solve it for?
Quantometric helps companies really be laser focused on identifying opportunities to improve their digital experience and digital products, with alignment around the customer's perspective, and quantifying it by business impact. And so, historically, companies they're very siloed. It's hard to kind of really understand and get everybody on the a single sheet of music, I guess, in terms of what needs to happen from a digital enhancement perspective. And Quantometric makes that very easy for all teams involved.
What would you say is the most unique aspect of your company's technology?
I think it is that being able to give the power to answer very complex questions about the digital experience in the hands of anybody. Typically you've kind of got engineering has their tool sets, marketing has their tool sets, analytics, et cetera. And this becomes kind of a bit of an equalizer around, this is what is happening to your digital experience, and anybody can get into it and ask whatever question they need to be productive. So it's really the accessibility to very powerful insights.
Excellent. You talked a moment ago about your experience as a small business owner. I'm wondering, combining that experience and this one, what would you say is most important when it comes to building a strong team?
I think, different situations call for different leadership, but I think obviously big is authenticity, candor, and I think really trying to remove as much ego as possible. Lack of ego, I think, is big. And the way that I think that manifests itself is, I don't enter into any relationship, whether it's with someone on my team or a peer or even a customer, assuming that they owe me any respect or trust. It is my goal to earn that through creating value in those people's lives. And I think when you do that, you build really, really strong relationships and therefore teams.
Excellent. We touched on this next one with your insightful answer on best city for tech startups. But what would you say was one of your biggest takeaways from 2020?
Yeah, I think professionally, my professional takeaway, there's some personal takeaways, but professional takeaway would be that I think we've shown that that organizations and people can be incredibly productive if they have more flexible working conditions. And I think that might even be better just in terms of the way we humans should live. So I really hope that as we kind of get back to some sort of normalcy, that organizations will maintain some sort of flexibility there and really kind of adapt to the way people work best.
Me too, me too. Where do you see Quantum Metric in the next, say, 2 to 3 years?
I think we will be on the forefront of a bit of a revolution on the way people define enhancements and measure success of their digital applications. And if we're not already there, I think there's been, recently we got a round of funding that made us, I guess, officially the first unicorn of 2021, which is amazing. And we've had people join our board of directors like John Chambers. I mean, there's been such a vote of confidence from the market that I just don't see it going anywhere else.
Oh, fantastic. A couple more. Let's see, a little bit more fun. Are you a cat person, a dog person, or neither?
Dog. Then that's the only painting you can see on camera. There's one over there as well. Big dog person. My wife and I probably have an unhealthy relationship with our dogs, but it is what it is.
Oh, fantastic. If you were a famous artist, would you more likely to be a novelist, an actor, director, or a singer, musician?
I wish my answer was novelist. I'm very fond of writers and what they can do, but most likely musician. I play guitar and like to fiddle with just about any instrument I can get my hands on. So.
Wow, very cool. What's your favorite holiday?
Any holiday that's a hot dog holiday. So July 4th is a good one. A lot of hot dogs on July 4th. So big fan of hot dog holidays.
You and me both. Good one. You talked about some of the personal takeaway from 2020, having some of those. What are you looking forward to most in your personal life this year, here in 2021?
Recurring theme with a couple of my other answers is I'm planning a multi-day backpacking trip with my brother somewhere probably along the Pacific Crest Trail. We won't do the whole thing. I'm not ready for that, but looking at this really cool place called, I think it's Rays Lakes out in Kings Canyon. So that's what I'm most excited for.
Oh, very, very cool. And last but not least, what's your favorite thing about being a part of FinovateSpring this year?
Just genuinely, just the opportunity to be the face of such an amazing technology and company that is really helping our customers solve amazing challenges around the digital experience. And so being the face of that, and then just having the opportunity to share what I'm genuinely very passionate about with some of the digital leaders at the conference. So hoping I can meet some of those people one-on-one and share a little bit more. So.
Fantastic. And that's our 25 and 5. Thank you very much, Jake, for participating. It was a great time. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. Thank you, David.